Hello all and welcome to today's webinar from Scorebuddy. I am your facilitator today. My name is David McGill. Good morning, good afternoon, I should have said at the start. So welcome to today's session. So today's session is going to be covering our new agent dashboard. Before I hand you over to today's presenter, Denise, I just have a couple of housekeeping things to go through. Firstly, this session will be recorded. This is any of your colleagues who couldn't attend or anyone else that you want to share it with. The recording will be on the website and the recording will be posted within 24 hours post the webinar. Secondly, we have a good few folks on the call today. If you have any questions for Denise throughout the webinar, please feel free to use the questions pane within GoToWebinar. We do have time dedicated at the end to answer those questions, and we have a couple of our colleagues, Adam and Harry, to answer those questions. So don't wait till the end, use the time now, and as Denise is going through the webinar, post your questions in there and we'll answer them at the end. So I'll hand you over now to Denise. So Denise, if you want to unmute your line and take us away. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, good morning, and you're all very welcome to our webinar today. So what we're going to do is we are just going to delve a little bit deeper into the new agent dashboard. As you can see, it has gotten a little bit of a facelift over the past week and a half. And the main reason that we were doing that and we have upgraded the dashboard is mainly because there wasn't a lot of agent engagement going on. From a lot of our customers, we were hearing that agents weren't checking their scores, they weren't interacting with the dashboard, and that was a main cause of concern for a lot of our customers. So as you can see, it is a lot brighter, it's a lot more colorful, it is a little bit more interactive than the previous version, and it fits into the product a little bit better. It is coinciding now with the supervisor dashboard as well as the admin dashboard. So over to the left-hand side over here, you will see that there are the tabs that the agent can go into as normal, and I will bring you through each of those individually just to give you a view of what the agent sees. Many of you that are on this call are probably supervisors or admins, and it's probably not somewhere that you would have spent a lot of time in the agent dashboard, but it's just to give you a little bit more of a feel of what the agents are experiencing when they log in. And we do also have this new feature where the agents can actually decide what to have pinned onto their dashboard. So this is something that has been updated. If you see this little cogwheel here over to the top right-hand side, this gives the agents the option to customize and pin whatever particular things they want onto the dashboard. Some agents prefer just to have maybe their performance and their scorecard. Other agents prefer to have everything. So again, it's giving the agents a little bit more control over what they see on their dashboard. Up the top right, as usual, they do have their inbox, and this is a little bit more apparent than the previous version. So in here, anytime an agent has been scored or there has been any activity from their supervisor or evaluator, you will be able to see when they click into it. It does show the option to actually click in and go to that hyperlink. The agents are always able to send messages to their supervisors as well. So it is like your own Scorebuddy mailbox in here. They can compose if they need to. Now, going back as well, they can click on their profile, and in here they are able to change passwords over a certain amount of time if they need to. And straight away, you will be able to see, I currently have every aspect of the pins pinned to my dashboard. So if we have a look, this is the performance of this particular agent. I have run the date range from the start of the year to today's date. Now, there is the option to run it 7/30 this month, last month, this quarter, or you can customize your date range as well. And the option to filter by score, edit, or event date is still there as within the previous dashboard. Now, over here, what we are able to see, which was not present in the previous agent dashboard, is the all over team score. So the agent is seeing how they're doing compared to the all over team. So if we have a look, the agent is actually trending downwards, which means that maybe their performance hasn't been as good as the previous year, previous month, whatever their date range has been. We're also able to see any kudos points that they have been given and any flags that are related to a fail all as well. So they're all in there. And the quality score, so we also have the overall team score and their individual score on a comparative basis here based on the time range as well. So this would be their all over performance in the date range. Now I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and as you can see, this is a little bit different from the previous dashboard as well. All the scorecards are accumulated in one place. So we're able to see the all over total results of the chat for retail here. So depending on the type of scorecard that there is, you will be able to see whether it's a standard scorecard or if it's a non-numeric. So your non-numeric scorecards are based on thresholds. Your standard is based on a percentage. So we are able to see how many of these particular evaluations in that particular scorecard have been reviewed, if one-to-ones were requested, any failed sections, fail alls, and kudos points. The all over team average for that particular scorecard, and then the individual score for that particular agent. If the agent wants to delve in a little bit more, they are able to click in and view the scorecards as well. So this is just to give an all over quick view, but as I said, they are able to delve down. Now, when we're actually going through these tabs on the left, you will be able to see the dive down option in there. But again, whatever is pinned here is a quick look. Scrolling down, I also have this here. So one of the main issues that was brought up with the previous dashboard as well was that agents weren't accepting their scores, they weren't requesting the one-to-ones, they were just leaving it. But here we are able to see any of the comments that have been left on evaluations in the large text block at the bottom. They are able to see those comments straight away. When they hover, they'll be able to see the full comment, but it's directly from this particular pin that they are able to request a one-to-one with their supervisor, or they're able to accept that score straight out. So it's giving a little bit more ease of access to the agent that they can do it straight away. And we have seen in the past week from some businesses that the agents are actually interacting a little bit more since the dashboard went live with it, which is a great thing to see. Again, they are able to dive down directly into all comments if needs be, similar to these scorecard options as well. But if they just want to peruse it and just, have a quick view, that is where the pins are handy coming in. The latest activity will show any time they have been scored, given a kudos point, if a comment has been added, and they can directly go to those evaluations by clicking here as well. They are all time and date stamps, so the agent will know exactly when those activities have taken place as well. Now, scrolling down a little bit further, we are able to see the goals of the employee. So these would be personal goals that the employee would have put down for themselves. And depending on how often goals are, looked at by the supervisor or by the company, these can change every quarter, bi-weekly, monthly. It's up to the employee to, decide what their personal goals are. Again, for coaching, this is something that comes in quite valuable for the company. The team goals, depending on how many teams that particular agent is associated with, the goals of that team will appear. So we can see that if I flick through for the team goals, they are all the same currently for this particular team. And then the group goals, again, can be different. So it just goes through each layer of goals, starting from group down to team, down to employee. So it's easier for the company to keep an eye on, are these goals being hit? Maybe they need to be reevaluated. And then over here to the right-hand side, we are able to see the task option. So tasks was something that was added in as a new feature at the beginning of the summer, and it has worked very well for a lot of businesses. So if it is the case that a particular agent or a supervisor is always failing on a certain aspect of a scorecard, it can then be, within a meeting that it can then be discussed within a meeting, okay, this is where you're falling down on point-wise or section-wise. We may need to do a little bit of coaching, a little bit of training. So an evaluator or a supervisor can assign specific tasks to an agent, and the priority can be set. It can be a low, a medium, a high, or an urgent priority. And the agent is able to start that task, and you will be able to see that one is in progress. When they complete it, they can click complete. Now, it is always the option that the supervisor or the evaluator, if they feel that the agent has not successfully completed that task, or they're still failing in parts of their evaluations, they can uncomplete that task and ask them to redo it. And again, we can dive down deep into those particular tasks. So that's an overview of the pinned out layout of the dashboard. If it was the option that the agent wanted to view all scorecards, they can do that. So I'm going to come over to the left-hand side just to show you that if they do decide to dive deep in, this is what they will see, but they still have the option to do it from the bar here on the left-hand side. So if I click on scores, for example, I'm able to see all the scores per scorecard. Again, at the top, you will see there is the little flag for fail section, and there's also a fail all. So this will show throughout all these particular scorecards how many fail sections there are or how many fail alls. And if you don't want to flick through each individual scorecard or score, you can click on the little flags or the little notification here, and it will bring you directly to that particular evaluation. So we can see for this particular scorecard, it is a non-numeric. So we can see here that I have 3 thresholds. I have improvement needed, getting there, and excellent performance. So the score that was given here falls under the threshold of getting there. The team score is also getting there as well. Now, when you're setting up your particular non-numeric scorecards, you're not going to have the exact same threshold. So yours will be a little bit different. If they have received kudos points for this particular scorecard, they will accumulate in here. And we can see that this particular agent is level. So their trend of their evaluations has not gone up or not gone down. It stayed consistent. And when I scroll down here, we're able to see the different sections of the scorecard and how they're divided out. Now, the results per section will show up in here. If there was any comments left on a particular question, you will be able to see it here. So these comments are question comments. They're not the full evaluation comments at the bottom. And if the agent wants to dive directly into that particular evaluation, they can by clicking on view, and it will bring up that evaluation and they're able to scroll through it. Okay. Now, if I go to this particular scorecard, we will see that this is a little bit different. So this was our non-numeric So we've thresholds here, whereas this particular scorecard is a standard one, which means all the results are shown in percentages. So we can see here that the overall score of this particular agent in the scorecard has gone down. So that's why the arrow is pointing down. And then the overall team score is this one here. So we can see kudos point has been given for this particular scorecard. The agent can click here and it will bring them directly to the evaluation, or they can come down here and they'll be able to see. Now, you will also be able to see if there is a pass and fail rate. That is due to a compliance question in here. So if you have compliance questions within the sections, you will be able to see the pass and fail rates. When there's normal questions that are not compliant, it shows up as a percentage. Okay, now this particular scorecard is our third scorecard, which is your success rate scorecard, and the options for this scorecard are just pass and fail. So it will just show met or not met per section and any comments as well. So we can see that we're trending up on this. Their own score has gone down, but the team success is this one here as well. And the agents are able to click on this and it will dive down a little bit more. Now, I do have 6 scorecards across here. I think currently at the moment it will be expanded to 8. I think it currently is 8, but you will be able to flick through each individual one here as well. Now, depending on your business, some businesses do give the option that agents can actually score themselves. It is marked in their profile that they can self-score. If you don't see this, or if the agent doesn't see this on their dashboard, that's absolutely fine. That just means you have not given them the option to self-score. When they click on it, they will be brought to this particular section, and any scorecards that they have the option to score themselves on will show up here. So that is the self-score option that is given to the agents. My task tab shows me all the tasks that have been assigned to me. Now, again, the date range can be changed here, but it shows the agent exactly what that particular task is. So it does have the heading, but then there is some context in there. You are able to hyperlink to documents, to LMS courses, to any of our call center school courses as well. You are able to hyperlink directly in there if you feel the agents need a little bit of an extra hand or additional training. And again, we can see the priority. If this agent wanted to start a task, so this one is the employee handbook, please read new policies in section 32, they can click start task. And if their supervisor was to look in their dashboard, they'll be able to see that it is in progress. So again, it is quite handy. It is something that's quite useful as a coaching tool for the agents in there. And a lot of our customers have benefited greatly from this as well. So if you haven't used it before, I definitely would recommend to actually go in and assign tasks. It will make your life a little bit easier to keep on track of who needs to do what tasks. Our comment section then, as I said previously, the comment section is there for each individual scorecard, and it is for that large block of text at the bottom of the scorecard. So the agents are able to see, okay, this is this. I'm able to then accept it, request a one-to-one, or I can go in and view that evaluation. And if I don't feel like I was given a fair score, I can just click here to request a one-to-one. And again, that request will be sent straight to the supervisor. They will get a notification in their inbox, and then the score can be reviewed between both. Now, if we have a look, I'm switching between my different scorecards, and I can see here that this particular score is above target, job well done, that has already been reviewed Whereas I do have maybe 1 or 2 that haven't been reviewed, it's below target. Angelina can go in, view it, and she can then maybe accept it if need be, or request a one-to-one. So the agent will be able to see whether or not they're below target and what the reason for that was as well. So very beneficial. As I said, it is a lot more interactive. The agents have a little bit more kind of context around why they're getting these scores as well. Activity log. Not a lot of people would have taken notice of this. I know that in the previous version, the text was a lot smaller, so it was a little bit harder to read straight away, and they can hover and it will hyperlink them directly to that evaluation, which makes things a little bit easier. So they can go directly to the score, the comment, they can see, why they were given that kudos point. It is just making things a lot better. And again, it is all time and date stamped, and they'll be able to see that they have decided to accept it, or they'll be able to see, they have sent a one-to-one request. And even going through the activity log, they will be then able, if they have a score that hasn't been reviewed by the supervisor, to follow up on that as well. The goals, as I said, they are based on team, group, and employee, but they are able to see all previous goals set out by themselves in certain time frames. So any goals that were set out 8 months ago, any goals that were set out 6 months ago, we are able to see. So anytime the goals are updated, you will be able to see when and how and what the previous goals were. And then with the Scorebuddy Academy, so we do always recommend that any single agent that starts brand new, we recommend them to take a course which is in the Scorebuddy Academy, which is the agent course. So when we go in there, the agents will be able to see any courses assigned to them. They will be able to start these courses depending on how many you have assigned them, and they will be able to see all their achievements in here. If you have your own LMS, that's absolutely perfect as well, that you will be able to assign them pre-built courses. Or as I said before, if it is the case that you feel, maybe this course or a separate course is needed, you can also purchase courses from the TCCS as well. So definitely something to have a look at. Going forward, if you feel that, even supervisors or admins need additional help in the call center environment in there. But generally, that is it for the new agent. A lot of people have been coming back and saying that, it has helped and there has been an increase in agent engagement with it because, the agents find it a lot colorful, it's a lot more interactive in there as well, and they are able to see their scores a little bit easier. So it just makes life a little bit easier for anybody who is evaluating that agents are going in and requesting the one-to-ones and accepting scores in there as well. So that would be everything I'd have to cover on that dashboard. I'm not too sure if any questions have been sent in at the moment, but I know Harry would be in charge of those at the moment. So Harry, do you want to answer those questions there for me?
Yeah, no problem. I can have a quick look at that. Looks like there's a couple of questions in. One of the first ones there is the visible scorecards are the only ones applicable to that particular agent, correct? So I believe this was in relation to the scorecards that are just below the headline feature there, those ones there. So only the scorecards for which that particular agent has been marked on would be visible there for that agent. So they wouldn't be able to see scorecards that are on the system, but they haven't been marked against. If you have other agents in different departments who are being marked on those scorecards, only the agents who are marked on those particular scorecards would have them visible on their dashboard. A second question in then was just around the placement of the data tiles within the dashboard. So it's not possible to rearrange the actual placement of the tiles themselves. You can just show what is visible and what's hidden, but the actual order of the tiles isn't something that can be changed.
Okay, and we've also got a question here around the tasks and goals and whether there's a report available to see trends month on month. That isn't something that's currently available, but particularly since the launch of the tasks function, there's been a lot of feedback from customers that that's something that they'd really like to see. So look, we've certainly heard that feedback, and it's most certainly something that we are considering for future development, at which stage obviously it'll be announced to all you guys before release. And I think that's, yeah, Denise, I'm passing back to you. That's all our questions.
Great, thanks. I'm obviously not Denise, I'm David. So thanks, Denise, for going through that. It's a very informative webinar. It's fantastic. And Adam and Harry for running through those questions. I know there was another question there from Troy. I'm not sure if you answered that one. Troy had a bit of a problem with their audio and headset. So don't worry, we have recorded the webinar. So that recording will be available to everyone. And in fact, Caesar is just has posted another question in there. So Adam or Harry, if you can grab that one for now. But in the meantime, so yeah, just a thanks to Denise again for going through that. We have lots of assets available in the LMS. I know, Harry, did you mention about the more lengthy video that you did on the dashboard as well? So yeah, definitely head over there. And also, if I can promote our next webinar, we do have another webinar coming up in November. We do plan to have a monthly webinar on a similar topic. We do have a customer, Capital One, which are going to be talking to us about some of the challenges they had prior to adopting Scorebuddy and how it's been a lifesaver to them, so especially during the pandemic. So yeah, definitely sign up for that one. You'll find that one in the webinar section on the website. So guys, if one of you want to grab that Caesar's question there, and then we'll wrap up.
Hi, sorry, David, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Caesar. Yeah, no, look, again, this has been another frequently requested report, and that is around the ability to track and report on the accepted versus non-accepted scores, the viewed versus unviewed scores. So that is very nearly sort of at the point where that will be going into development. So a design document has been drawn up around that, and that should be sort of being passed across to our development team for work very soon. So I don't have a date at this particular time, but in your sort of quarterly business reviews that you'll be having with your account managers and customer success execs, a sort of a scope and sort of a goal timeline for that should be available very soon. We know it's something that people want, so look, we're very excited to deliver something that'll help you guys get the most out of that mechanism on the platform.
Super, thanks, Harry. So again, we're just at the half-hour now, so that was perfect timing. So again, thanks to everyone for attending, and we hope to see you on the next Scorebuddy webinar. And have a good evening, morning, rest of the day, and talk to you all soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.